The Messiah is considered crucial as he brings light to the world and hope to the hopeless, guiding others to spiritual fulfillment. He remembers seeing the infant Jesus when his parents sought refuge to escape Herod's decree to kill all male children born within a 2-year span. This command was issued after the Magi informed Herod of the birth of a new king of the Jews. 3 wise men from Ur, which is Babylon, were guided by a celestial phenomenon, a rare conjunction of stars and planets interpreted as the Star of Bethlehem. They followed this star to Jesus' birthplace. This star, not a new celestial body, but a bright light visible for a month, was considered a divine sign marking Jesus' birth. Herod's drastic actions to eliminate the newborn king were inadvertently triggered by the Magi's information. The Essenes, a Jewish sect aware of the prophecies, provided refuge to Jesus and his family, protecting the child from Herod's soldiers. Jesus was a calm child with variable eye colors and light red hair. His mother Mary was young and beautiful, while his father Joseph was older and pious. John the Baptist, considered a reincarnation of the prophet Elias, also faced danger from Herod's decree. His father, a priest, was killed, but John and his mother found safety with the Essenes. Sudi also touches on themes of salvation and judgment, emphasizing self-judgment and the idea that hell is a self-created state, rather than a divine punishment. The conversation provides a detailed alternative narrative on these biblical events, emphasizing prophecy, astrology, and the role of the Essenes.
Before, when I talked to you, you said you knew all the prophecies of the coming of the Messiah, and you were looking for him. Why is the Messiah so important?
He is important because he will bring light to the world, deliver hope to those who are without, and show us and others how we may gain our souls.
Then he will be a very special person.
He is a very special person, though he is but a child.
Have you seen him?
Once, when his parents came to us, asking us to help. They knew of Herod's plans and had to leave. They sheltered with us for many days while things were gathered so that they might make their journey in safety.
Do you know what Herod's plan was?
To slay all children born within a 2-year span. Because it was said that the Messiah had been born, and he thought in this manner he would capture him and rid himself of this worry.
How did Herod know that the Messiah had been born?
When the Magi came and stopped at the palace, they thought mistakenly that if a king was to be born, surely it would have been in the palace of the king. They spoke to Herod, and through them, he learned that the Messiah had been born and would be called King of the Jews. Herod could not accept this, so he ordered that this edict be followed. When the Magi came and stopped at the palace, they thought mistakenly that if a king was to be born, surely it would have been in the palace of the king. They spoke to Herod, and through them, he learned that the Messiah had been born and would be called King of the Jews. Herod could not accept this, so he ordered that this edict be followed.
I imagine that if the Magi had known this, they probably wouldn't have told him.
Sigh. It was their destiny. It was foreseen many years ago, and everyone knew of it, so we would be prepared. They were following their destiny, as we must all follow our own.
Some people have said that when the wise men came to Herod, it took them 2 years to reach Bethlehem.
No, for when the Magi came to the Messiah, he was still at the place of his birth. He had not left.
Do you know how many wise men came?
There were 3. They were men of Ur, which is another name for Babylon. Ur is more of a people than a place. They are of Ur by descent.
I see. I've heard so many different stories. If you were there, you would know the truth.
I was not with them when they spoke to Herod, but I have heard of this, and I know it to be true.
How did the wise men know it was time to come?
It was foretold in the heavens. It was the coming together of the planets and the stars, and they used this to guide them. They saw the star and knew it for what it was.
Once when I talked to you, you said you saw the star on the night the Messiah was born.
Emotionally, yes.
Do you think the wise men saw the same star?
All saw the same star.
Do you know the names of the celestial bodies involved?
There are different names for them, and the constellations have names. It is more that they are named in this manner than just individual stars. Each star that came together had a name, but I know it not. This is not my best study.
Were they stars that are normally in the sky?
Yes, it was just that their paths in the heavens crossed, as it were.
Some people have said it may have been a strange star that had never been seen in the heavens, referring to a possible nova.
It was not one that was created in that instance. Many try to explain it in different manners. Some say it was a comet or a warning of the gods, but it was God showing that this was his son and giving us a way to know.
How long was the star visible?
It was only a focus for one night. After they initially came together, they began separating, so it grew less bright. It was perhaps a month before the light was gone totally.
Some say Herod ordered the killing of children 2 years and under because it took the wise men that long to journey to Bethlehem.
This is true. Tales grow longer with each telling. They followed the stars that were growing together, knowing what would occur. They had been watching for hundreds of years for this happening. When the star became one, it was seen everywhere.
The Magi must have known the prophecies, or at least how to read the stars.
It is said that the men from Ur gave us many of our prophecies. They also gave us Abraham.
People say if the wise men saw the star in faraway countries, it would be hard to see the same star. And by the time they got to Bethlehem, the star would have been gone.
It was their destiny to follow the star.
You mentioned the Messiah's birth. Do you know anything unusual about it?
He was born in a cave, if that is considered unusual.
What do you call the Messiah?
He hesitated. We call him not.
He has no name yet?
He has a name, but to name him would be to name his death, and he must be protected.
What did the baby look like?
He had beautiful eyes that were never the same color. Gray, blue, maybe green. His hair was a light shade of red, very sandy. His mother was young, maybe 16, very beautiful and calm. The father was older, a very pious man who loved his wife very much.
Was there anything unusual about the baby?
With adoration, his beautiful eyes and his calmness. He seemed to know all the secrets of the universe and gloried in them.
Then he was different from the normal child?
How would I know of normal children? A natural answer. Sudi was a bachelor. They all cry and nurse and need their napkins changed. But he watched everything to learn and experience all at once.
What about John the Baptist? What happened to him?
The child and his mother are with us. He is in danger, for he also fits into the category that Herod once slain. The father was killed. When soldiers came asking, "Where is your child?" the father said, "I know not," but the baby was not there.
You told me about the prophecy of Elias returning. His father was known to you.
He was a priest of God, not a rabbi. He served at the temple.
Was his name known?
It is not time for it to be known. Naming the father is to name the son.
Under a trance state of mind, Sudi seemed to be in a discontinuum of time, unaware of the passage of time, or perhaps believing that revealing his name could still put John in danger in his timeline. Are the children still in danger?
They are children now, several years old.
What is John like?
He is fierce like a lion, strong, and lets everyone know what he is thinking. His hair is very, very red. He looks much like his cousin, Jesus, but perhaps of more blood and more like his father in strength. His cousin is calmer and finer.
Are the people in your country dark-skinned with black hair?
Those who live in Nazareth are mostly light-skinned, fair-haired, and light-eyed. There is much intermarriage with people from the south, so there are fewer children with red or yellow hair, more with brown or dark hair.
Are there any other prophecies about the Messiah's life?
It is said that he shall spread the word and take the suffering of the world upon his shoulders. Through his suffering, we shall be saved.
What does it mean to be saved?
From ourselves. With divine intercession and blessings, you may take the steps up the ladder easier. To rebirth, yes. Of reaching the perfection of the soul, yes. For it says that a man must again be born.
Some people say that when you're saved, you will not go to hell.
There is no hell other than what you create yourself.